All right, what's going on, all you amazing viewers to be named later? How we doing today? Whew, I think I'm gonna call this one, and I'm stealing this from Jelly Roll. I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be all right. This one's gonna be a little different, okay? I'm a vet. I served 8 years. I would have went longer, but I'm not who I was back in '95 when I got off active duty. My goal was to get my 20 and serve my nation with honor. Well, I served. I'm going to leave it up to other people to say if they think it's honorable or not. I'm still friends with people from my last unit and, various things throughout my time. One of the people on this planet I'm closest to, I only knew for a year in Korea. But still, that friendship is still there, that bond is still there. And every time I talk to him, it's like nothing ever changed, At the beginning of the Biden administration, Abbey-gate happened. That's where the Biden administration lost me. I always knew there was more to that story. I always knew there was. I didn't like the fact that the administration was like, oh, this is no big deal. Oh, it was a seamless pullout. Oh, these things happen. I didn't like the fact that the security of U.S. forces was placed in the hands of the Taliban, a terrorist organization. Not a misunderstood JV organization like Obama called them, that they were just raging because they didn't have jobs. No, they're radical terrorists. And this is one of these things like the Taliban, ISIS, ISIS-K, whatever other organization out there, they'll all kill each other with glee. And they'll do it very, very happily. Unless they can kill America. Camera roulette strikes. Always happens when I'm talking about something I probably shouldn't be, but I'm going to talk about this because it's affecting me an awful lot. So 13 of my brothers and sisters lost their lives that day. This weekend, and I'm filming this on Monday, November 17th, 2025. This is going to premiere on my channel later on down the road. So I'm watching the Unsubscribed podcast. I love that podcast. You ever having a bad time? You pull it up. You've got vets, you've got close friends that are drinking and telling stories and raising money for good causes and having incredible guests on that show. Well, this last Saturday, they had a survivor of Abbey-gate. And I know I'm going to get this number wrong, but it's one of these two, and I'll explain it in a moment. The U.S. Army Medical Field Manual states 150 wounds that if you suffer them, you have no hope of recovery, you will die, move on, do not treat this person. This guy had like 90 of them because of Abbey-gate. It's either 60 or 90. He had way too many. The medic, when he got to him, went, how are you even alive? How are you even breathing on your own? We've got to get him help now. So this guy was their guest on the Unsubscribed podcast. And he said a couple things. Now, I always knew there was more to this. The little leaks that came out made me go, how the hell did a human Claymore get that close to us without getting schwacked? I've seen the reports where they spotted him, and they asked for permission to schwack this guy, and upper high command went, nope, can't risk an incident, can't risk it. And then all the spin afterwards happened. But he said, clear as day, the U.S. government had intel on who terrorist was. Name, age, pictures. They knew what car he was arriving in, who was driving him, what time he would approach the gate. I have always believed this. Whoever is behind the Resolute desk takes the good and takes the bad no matter what. I hate hearing this in every single administration. Well, it's not the current president's fault. It's the former president's fault that things are this way. We're trying to fix everything. No, you freaking take ownership of it. The moment you're sworn in and your ass gets behind the Resolute desk, it's your problem or success. They knew who this guy was. And he got to approach the gate and kill Americans. While the administration went, Donald Trump's fault. We have no blame in this, Donald Trump's fault. No, it's your fault. I'm not far left, I'm not far right, I'm a fucking American and I'm a vet. I understand in my job duties when I serve this country, everything up to including my life is the property of the U.S. government. If I die in service to this nation. Not, well, we're going to sit here and let the human Claymore walk up and do what he needs to do. Now, why am I making this video? Number one, I'm proud to be an American, but I hate my government. I've hated it for many years now because of the dumb shit that just seems to go back and forth. It doesn't matter whose ass is behind the Resolute desk, what party, it doesn't stop. Nobody has been held accountable for Abbey Gate. Nobody. People were awarded medals. They were given promotions. They were given pats on the back. Nobody was held accountable for the loss of life at Abbey Gate. One Marine Colonel, Colonel Scheller, I believe his name was removed from service because he spoke out and went, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I firmly believe in my heart that if our current POTUS had been behind the Resolute desk when that bomb went off, he'd be getting impeached. But it's not Joe Biden's fault. Not Joe Biden's fault. Yeah, it is. The fact that nobody has been held accountable, I still can't fathom that. I know I can't be the only person rocked by the revelation that this Marine brought out and went, we knew who he was, when he was arriving, who was driving him there. I was sickened when our troops could not go out and get our people out of harm's way. We had to rely on the French and the English troops in country doing gun runs to get our people if they could. That is unfathomable to me. That whole thing. I know there's other vets out there that are hurting. And the biggest reason I'm making this video is it's okay to be upset. I'm pissed off. I haven't slept well all weekend. I've been in a foul mood all weekend. And for those people that I talk to and I just rant and raged at, thank you so much for hearing me out and not making me feel like an asshole. Everybody should have friends like that. When you call them up, you go, dude, I'm pretty fucked and here's why. And they listen. I cannot believe it. They knew who he was. Everything about him, and they still let him do it. I'm sorry, no. Those signs are posted around bases. Stay back 100 yards or you will get shot for a reason. But the Biden administration let a human Claymore walk up to the front gate and revoke some birth certificates. As a vet, I feel betrayed by my commander-in-chief. I don't care what party sits at the Resolute desk. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's your boss as a service member. Just let it happen. I hope there's some accountability for this. I know there will never be anybody held accountable, ever. Like the greatest loss of life during GWOT. And people were promoted and given medals for it? That makes no sense to me. None. My heart breaks for what this guy has gone through. The fact that he's not letting it break him, he is now a bladesmith, which I think is phenomenal. He lost an arm and a leg, So he's literally making knives one-handed. That is phenomenal. The way he's trying to help his brothers and sisters, instead of being an asshole, he's trying to turn the narrative and trying to show people a better way. Which is just great. That's what we should be doing. Not pointing fingers and going, well, you're a Republican. Well, you're a Democrat. You're an American. I think we need to be reminded of that because I've heard this way too much recently. Well, once we get rid of MAGA, everything will be beautiful in this country again. No, it won't. Okay, no, it won't. I live in Washington State. You would not believe how many crazy-ass things I have to deal with on a daily basis. Yes, but anywho, if you're a vet, you're hurting, reach out. There are so many things out there that can help you. There are so many people who will listen, and there is just people who will be there for you. We know they hate us. We know politicians hate us. Unless it's political season, then they promise everything. And here's a little clue. Every time a politician goes, my first day in office, well, that's a fucking lie, because they'll never do anything that first day because they're too busy trying to figure out how to decorate their office. Yeah, I'm upset. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm not okay. But it's all going to be all right because I just hugged my kids a little tighter this weekend. Told them how proud I am of them for helping me change my life. Because who I would have been 13, 14 years ago before I became a dad, I would have been reacting to this vastly different than I did this weekend. Change can happen. It takes time. It takes effort. But I'm not going to do the little YouTube-y things. I wish I could say I was shocked, but I'm not. I'm not. Be good to each other out there, okay? We'll see you in the next video.